This is your September 2022 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, this is your reading. My name is Romy. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. We are opening up with the energy of the Queen of Cups for you this month. I like that she's bringing in her passive energy and a requirement to really listen, because this is a period of time in the year where we have so many planets retrograde. And we are invited to go inwards and sometimes backwards to really recognize how far we've come and give ourselves credit, and to sort of take some time to truly process and integrate the awareness of things. You're diving deep under the ocean here, and so the depth of knowledge that is going to be made available to you, the insights that are going to come through are going to be quite profound. And in a way, I think you're set to see a bit of a glimpse of the future, whether that comes through in psychic visions, whether that comes forth in terms of like tangible signs and the evidence of some of your manifestations showing up in ways that you hadn't anticipated. But really what we want to deliver for you this month is the opportunity to see all of the ways in which you can seek this inner harmony and learn how to exist in that state of balance. And I think the Queen of Cups is going to be so supportive as a guide for you in that way, because that's what we need you to really hear, that your power, your purpose, all the healing, the answers that you're looking for, they are in this place of balance. And as we welcome equinox energy coming in on the 22nd, it is a time for a reset here. She's also going to help you to cut out a lot of the distractions, but at the same time make sure that you're able to still tap into that compassion and empathy. You can still have strong emotional boundaries and be there for people. I always use the phrase, you can cut with them, but you don't have to bleed with them. And there may be some instances through the course of this month where people are spinning out a little bit, very agitated, a bit frustrated, and maybe even finding it difficult to truly articulate or communicate how they feel. Sometimes it's just your presence. That's all that's going to be needed in those moments. But you do also have to take a bit of an energy check for yourself through September in terms of what you're offering, through your time, your attention, your love, your energy, your resources, because you have to see what you have the capacity to be able to give in that moment before you move into that kind of autopilot. Now we're going to be welcoming Venus in Virgo on the 4th of the month, and so in regards to our relationships, we're in problem solving mode. We tend to have quite high standards around this time as well, but we're also looking for real divine acts of service to indicate the growth and the direction and see where we stand with things. But remember, the Mercury retrograde energy can scramble and bring a little bit of miscommunication in regards to this. So you may feel a bit all over the place in terms of trying to make some progress with specific people, personally, professionally, romantically. But at the same time, there's this real invitation that I see coming through that is giving you the courage to kind of almost road test these new ways of thinking, this new way of being that has been coming through over the last few weeks and months, and you've been kind of tentatively feeling it out, thinking about the changes that you might want to make, really realizing that it's more important for you at this time to try to maintain that consistency of balance in your life. And the Ten of Cups is coming in here with some really beautiful news that I feel on an emotional level can bring in some celebration for you, in fact. There's some sense of a gathering or coming together with like-minded people, soul family, those who really speak your language. And I think that's going to be very healing and important for you. Especially if you are taking some time around that equinox to kind of come together and just celebrate that beautiful seasonal balanced release. There's something that's going to be so cathartic for you during that time. Now, what we're also going to be welcoming this month is a full moon in Pisces. It's coming in at 7 degrees sextile to Uranus. And of course, we know that during these full moon periods, there are revelations, things coming to a point of fruition. Now, in Pisces energy, there is something here that will help support your healing in regards to something. Now, with the sextile to Uranus, I have a sense that it could be a bit of a surprise, you know, what's being shared with you, what's being expressed to you, or even you yourself in your readiness to want to share or to reveal. And I think it's important. It's like the first next step that's required. Now, for some of you, there may still be a bit of a way to go, a bit of a journey to get back to where something was, or to actually get to where it should have been. And even through the course of the next few weeks, you might still feel that things are a little bit stop-start. However, I think that there's going to be enough that comes from that experience that's going to really help you to, again, like we say, see the future, or see the vision, or see the potential of something, and be able to kind of trust in that. Yeah. I want to remind you that, you know, there's a continuing theme of at times feeling like we're having to do the hard things. You know, we're being put in situations and really uncomfortable, energetic unfoldings that are requiring us to dig really deep. But you can do the hard things, Aquarius, and you can do them gently. You can do them compassionately, with kindness and with full commitment, because the Hierophant's coming in here and it's saying you're learning the learned lessons from what has already happened in your timeline, what has already unfolded in this year, is really put you in good stead to be able to be a witness with what September brings, and not get attached to the drama, and actually not only that, really share and impart what you've gone through, how it's changed you, what you've taken from it. And even if you're still on that road to becoming, I think it's going to really put you in a place where you feel like you have healed and now you are teaching. And I think that's such an important understanding for all of us in terms of what our soul contract is truly about, you know. So the Hierophant comes through, and there's also the desire to want to really cement something and bring that level of commitment through. Just remember, anything that gets fully discussed, negotiated, decided upon, again, personally, romantically, professionally, you're going to want to almost give yourself some time and some space before you march ahead with it, you know. So it's like, if you decide upon it, I would still say, okay, this is the intention, this is the commitment, but maybe we'll get going in a few weeks' time, or maybe the start date is just a little bit further out, okay? And don't be swayed on that, don't be pushed, don't be sort of forced to begin something sooner than you're ready if you have things that you need to tie up, or you need to get done, or people you need to talk to, or because I just feel like there's almost like somebody or something that's trying to put you under pressure. And I think that there are reasons, very valid reasons on your part, Aquarius, why it might not quite be the right timing, or you have to bring some sensitivity to the table, because maybe that news, you know, the breakaway that you might be taking on as a result of this negotiation or discussion is going to have impact on others. And I think that there's a level of compassion and an understanding on your side that it has to be handled with kid gloves a little bit. And I think again that that's absolutely demonstrating the ways in which you have been evolving and changing. Even if you are struggling with the transition, or to make the leap, or to come to a place of an important choice in your life, I suppose we would invite you to think about still being exactly where you are in 12 months' time, Aquarius, and how that might feel. Because if you're sat on the fence for too long, it's easy to kind of talk yourself out of something, and there is still that sort of provocative, urgent, right, come on, let's go. And you know, it's coming through a lot in your August soul story, and if you're still kind of in that energy, your High Priestess is going to give you that deeper sense of knowing. You do know what's right for you at the moment. You do know the way in which you should be moving in the direction that you're supposed to take. And you've been through this really powerful rite of passage. And I think that intuitively, psychically, there's so many signs and so much evidence that you couldn't ignore it. In fact, the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess here, both bringing in very Piscean energy. So around that full moon, it could be quite incredible in terms of some of the downloads or the ways that you can connect into your own natural gifts. And so really pay attention to what's coming through for you at that time. You know, remember, this is a real reset month. And as you learn to exist in that new state of balance, there's going to be a lot more answers coming through for you in things that I think you've been stuck on or kind of going round in circles for some time. Now, all of these astrological trines that are showing up this month are going to be so supportive. 5 of them in earth energy. The 11th, the 18th, the 19th, the 25th, the 27th, and then 1 in air sign, which will be particularly auspicious for you. That's coming in right at the end of the month on the 27th, just after the new moon in Libra on the 25th. I have a sense that you're going to know what you want to do around that time in regards to something. And even though there may be other opportunities or offers that are coming your way, try not to get sidetracked. There's definitely something about distractions coming in and trying to take your focus away. It's like you make a promise or a commitment and have a priority, and because it's not on somebody else's agenda or timeline, just be real mindful of that. I don't think there's anything wrong with almost kind of almost pacifying somebody, you know, maybe kind of suggesting that there'll be another time, or you'll make a commitment to do something, but not in its entirety, not in its fullness, not when you know it would directly take you away from something that's super important for you this month, okay? I think you are going to go on a little bit of a journey in regards to your self-motivation. Yeah, and there'll be a few challenges and tests from sort of other people to see sort of how genuinely committed you are to something. These may come in by the way of some real emotional triggers. And again, if that's the case, you know, there's a little bit of an invitation around doing some shadow work in regards to that. The 9 of Cups suggests that you need to be bold in the expression of that language of your heart through the course of this month. And rightly so. I think you've got something to share that you should be proud of, or you should feel easy to explore and to be able to say to somebody. And if you find yourself unable to do that, if you're kind of blocked because you feel like it won't be received, then there's some deeper work to kind of take place within that, Aquarius, to say, well, are these energies around you capable of being able to hold space for who you are, what you bring to the table, for your impact, your influence, your energy? You have a lot of courage being afforded to you through this month to be able to deal with being in the middle. That's what I want to say. So being in the middle of a situation, being in the middle of a project, being in the middle of trying to make your mind up with regards to something. And you need to just remember your why in that moment, because you will find your flow again. This is really important. Now, I just want to make you aware that in September, I'm launching Sacred Soul Support. It's going to be a library of energy activations and guided meditations that are going to directly support you with some of the key themes I see playing out in these soul stories and in my one-to-one readings. We're going to talk about things in the light and the shadow. And in September, we're going to deal with conscious connections in the light, and we're going to deal with emotional triggers in the shadow. So if these things are coming up for you through the course of this month and you're looking for ways to help shift the energy, please go check my website out, okay? So we're going to go ahead and pull your last 3 cards, Aquarius. Now we're going to cover these off in the extended version of the reading, okay? If you're new, you can find the link for that in the comment and the description box underneath. And we talk for another 25 minutes in the extended reading, going into more detail about what's to come in the month ahead. It's also just a way to support my channel. All right, so we're going to go ahead and clarify the main spread now to see what extra messages are going to want to come through for you this month, Aquarius. Starting with the Queen of Cups, we've got the Hanged Man, Sacred Pause, Full Energy, Chariot, oh I like that, Cancerian energy. We've got Pallas Athena, the asteroid goddess, shifting into Cancer on the 6th of the month. Ace of Wands. Magician. Yes. Now, all the decks that I use, Aquarius, are listed in the comment and the description box. Hierophant, 8 of Wands we have here. Empress, beautiful. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. I want you to think for a moment, Aquarius, about a question that might not have come up in the main spread, and I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of cards for that as well for you, okay? Alright, now let's just pull these oracle cards, give you a preview of what's also coming through. Okay, you have the Green Man and Moss Agate, Ritual and Ceremony. I really like that stone for Virgo season for you. And this is, of course, Life Soul Vision Oracle, my new deck, which is going to be shipping in September. So if you have already ordered, the long wait is over. And if you want to check out the full deck, please go visit my website as well. Let's see what we have this month for you, Aquarius. Oh, nice. Okay, Sacred Soul Union in a month of relationships. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are joining me for the extended, I look forward to seeing you there. Otherwise, have a beautiful month ahead, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.